Students, hello. Lesson 75, Algebra 2. Ready? It has a long name. Ready? It's called Factorable, Denominators, and Sign Changes. It's so much to say. Factorable, denominators, and sign changes. That just sounds scary, doesn't it? Ugh, so many long, big words and sign changes. That just sounds like trouble. But you know what? It's not that bad. So let me break it down for you and remind you of some old friends of ours. So we're going to do things like this. Example 75.1. I'm on page 313. And we've got a problem that looks like this. Add, then it gives us a big, hairy fractione, x squared minus x minus 6. Now this isn't all the problem, but notice right away, this is kind of cool because when you glance at this, you can see we don't need to use the man-eating dragon to solve this. You can see right away this is one of those factoring by inspection problems. We can see right away that there's going to be a pair of numbers that multiply to that and add to that. Don't want to spoil the surprise for you yet, but there is going to be one, and it's going to be great fun when we get to it. The second part of the problem looks like this, 3 over 3 minus x. Now, that doesn't look too scary because it's just one little number repeated and a cute little x. It's not so bad, but not quite sure what it has to do with the rest of the problem. So let's save the fun of that, and let's just go back and factor. So our steps, first, are one, factor, denominator, where you can. Well, we can't really do much to factor on this side, but we can definitely factor this. So let's copy over our numerator. And let's copy over this chunk. Well, let's leave that for now. And let's figure out what are the binomials that will break down into. Remember, our rule is that we're looking for two numbers that multiply to the last term and add to the middle term. And I wish I could be with you right now because I'd give you a chance to puzzle over that. Go ahead and puzzle. And after you've puzzled a while, I'm sure you'll see, oh look, it's x minus 3, x plus 2. These two add to minus 1, and there's the minus sign, and they multiply to minus 6, and there's a minus 6. Yay! Okay, exciting. Now we know that if we want to add these, which is what this is telling us to do, we're going to have matching denominators. That's rule number 1 of adding fractions, is the denominators have to match. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like the looks of this all of a sudden because this looks a long way from that. But wait a minute. 3 minus x is the same as x minus 3 reversed. What? That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? So we just have to switch that around this a little bit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change this part of it to 3 over, and we're going to factor a minus 1 out. That's the way I'm going to explain it to you. Then we'll have positive x minus 3. Notice I've flipped the order, but our 3 was positive. It turned into a negative. Our negative x turned into a positive x because we factored out the minus 1. Now, we remember that a minus sign can be on the bottom or the top or in the middle. So we're going to rewrite this as minus 3 over x minus 3. This is our original minus sign that was given in the problem. This one is the minus sign that we factored out of the denominator to switch it around. Oh, let me move this so you can see it better. This is the tricky part of the problem, is making this sign change in the denominator, because now you can see it's going to match, isn't it? And we're going to be moving in the right direction toward our solution. So pay attention to these minus signs. This is the tricky part. Let's rewrite it. Let's see. 2, change signs. if that's helpful. And John's going to set us up in this lesson, of course, so that it will be helpful. So now I'm going to rewrite so I can look at what I've got. X minus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. These two come together to change there. And then we have 3 over x minus 3 here. Yay! This hopefully is looking familiar, because now what we can do is multiply we've got our least common multiple for our denominator. It's x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. We've got part of it there, so we have to multiply by x plus 2. Do it to the bottom, do it to the top. There we go. Now we've got everything set, so we can combine our numerator rather. It's going to be x plus 3 plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. All over x minus 3, x plus 2. So far, so good. And now all we have to do is distribute this and combine any like terms. So x plus 3 plus 3x plus 6. I see a pair of x's, and I see some of those. So I'm going to rewrite this again as 4x plus 9 over the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 2. That is your final solution. You could multiply that back out if you wanted, but you do not have to. Just a second, I'm writing down the steps that we did. We want to match the denominators, that's what we did here, and then we want to simplify. Okay, so this is an acceptable form for the answer, or you can also multiply that out if you like. Okay, so the only thing that was tricky in this really was this, and then here where we had to adjust the denominator to make it match to the other fraction. So go ahead and give these a shot. Example 75.2 and example 75.3. The only thing that gets a little trickier is in the final, in 75.3, I'll just show you what it looks like. 75.2 is pretty much exactly the same as what we just did. In 75.3, let me slide this up so you can see better. You'll see I'm using my Algebra 1 book as my clipboard. For 75.3, the problem looks like this. X minus 3 over x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, that looks really good and manageable. And then we have the plus. And then we have this one doesn't look like it's going to need a sign change. It looks fine. Hi, Ranger. Ranger came in to do algebra with me. Hi, buddy. How are you? We're talking about factorable denominators. He's not impressed. This doesn't look like we're going to need a sign change because it looks like it's going to match here. This is where it's going to get a little trickier. Notice that in our numerator, instead of just having a single digit, we've got a binomial. So when we multiply this, I'm going to just help you. This is going to be x minus 5, x plus 3, right? Those multiply and add. We've already got the x minus 5, so look what's going to happen. We have to multiply that by x plus 3. When we multiply this top binomial by this other binomial, we're going to get a more complicated answer. I'm sure you can handle it. I'm sure you'll handle it beautifully. But if you need a little help, watch the steps unfold on page 313 and 314. And you'll get a really lovely narrative of how to do it. John Saxon is going to save the day. Don't you worry. He's going to make it fun. See ya.